And so it's turning everything on its head. When you mentioned that, it made me think of emerging technology. And I'll share with you an example from the past. I had a business that wanted to do a launch of an immersive educational experience into Decentraland. So you start thinking historically from a cyber perspective, what are the things you would typically do if you are going to deploy something on somebody else's infrastructure? You're thinking of third-party risk management. Would you maybe do a third-party risk assessment? And so I quite honestly had people in cybersecurity that were like, let's do a vendor risk assessment. I'm like, who are you going to send it to? Decentraland isn't a traditional third party. It's led and kind of managed by a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO.
Who's going to complete that questionnaire?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's turning everything on its head. And to your point, even things like, they were to leverage an NFT as a reward for completing this educational experience. And we had to turn things on its head to think about, okay, how do you secure an NFT? Is there anything special you need to look at for an NFT? Could they embed malware in a non-fungible token? And that's where, from a BISO perspective, we play a key relationship management role, to your point, pulling in the legal team, pulling in, like in that case, pulling in the pen testing team to say, okay,
how would you attack?
And we're not the technical experts, but we can certainly bring in the right people to talk about how would you tackle these things, or how can we do our best possible job at securing this emerging technology. And then thinking about from a financial services being highly regulated, any type of interaction between the company and an individual, let's just say on Decentraland, of course, you're required to record those and retain them, et cetera. And how do you do that? Or how can you prevent that technology or that feature from being used if you don't have the capability to retain chats and things of that nature? Just bringing all the right people together. And I loved that piece of the role because I was close to the business. I knew what they were wanting to do with this launch. And then I could bring the right technology and cyber and legal teams to the table to figure out how to do it as safely as possible.
And that collaborative effort in knowing who to bring sometimes is really, really valuable.